Welcome to Earthenkind Quests. My name is Mike. In this episode of Nemesis Battles, a Warlock wants to find an abandoned teleportation device and to restore it into functional use. But the device is guarded by an Iron Golem, augmented with legendary features. The Warlock is at level 15, using the rules in the 2024 Player's Handbook of Dungeons & Dragons. The Iron Golem is a challenge rating 16 creature in the 2025 Monster Manual, and it is even more challenging with its legendary features and with a localized environmental hazard that will be revealed during this episode. As with all of the episodes of Nemesis Battles, I will clarify what happens with the game mechanics and the story narrative while demonstrating in the 3D world builder and virtual tabletop system of RPG stories. For extra details about the Warlock character, in the video text description, you can find the web link for the level 15 character sheet in D&D Beyond. You will notice that the Warlock is optimized in some but not all aspects. The infernal tiefling Fiend Patron Warlock is named Belade Burns. She uses a Pact of the Blade with various Eldritch invocations, enhancing her Pact weapon attacks, her Eldritch Blast cantrip, and her general utility options. The Warlock is equipped with 2 magic items. Her studded leather armor is enspelled with 6 charges of the shield spell. Her Pact weapon longsword is the equivalent of a +2 Dragon's Wrath longsword with fire damage effects. The Warlock Belade Burns currently is bound in a fiendish contract with her Fiend Patron. According to this contract, Belade Burns must launch an attack at the famous Spellsword Academy. Belade Burns was an Academy student years ago, before she was expelled due to her unauthorized access into a secret underground archive. Now the Archfiend calls for the entire campus to be destroyed, leaving nothing whatsoever remaining to be rebuilt. For this purpose, whenever the Warlock will begin with the attack, then the Archfiend will open a portal into the mortal world, sending a group of hellbound warriors to join in the attack. The Warlock Belade Burns invested considerable time with preparations for the upcoming event at her former school and home at the Spellsword Academy. She acquired a new magical lair as her base of operations. She convinced the farmers of the region to abandon their homes and to stop producing the food supply for the Spellsword Academy, instead now living around the Warlock's new lair. Belade Burns recruited a group of fishfolk or Kuotoa to construct something for her at the edge of a swamp that connects out to the Grand Ocean. This work will not be completed in time for the attack at the Academy, because the Archfiend has grown impatient with the Warlock's delays. The Archfiend insists that the attack must proceed as soon as possible. The total destruction of the Spellsword Academy will bring fear and dread into the world, thereby increasing the Fiend's power within the Fiend's domain. Secretly, though, the Archfiend guards an extra motivation. The Warlock Belade Burns guards her own secret personal motivation as well. Belade Burns agrees to begin with the journey out to the Spellsword Academy for the attack. This journey will require several days. Thankfully, Belade Burns already recruited 2 adventurers to safeguard the magical lair and the farming community during her absence. Additionally, a guardian Naga will protect the interior space of the magical lair. While preparing for the travel, Belade Burns learns a story about the original proprietor who created the magical lair many centuries ago. According to the memory of the guardian Naga here, the original creator of the lair maintained another, separate facility, a few hours of travel away from here, with a magical teleportation device. The magical lair itself blocks all incoming teleportation and divination magic, and therefore the external facility was created for 2-way teleportation. If Belade Burns can find this facility and reactivate it, then she could eliminate the several days of travel out to the Spellsword Academy and coming back again. Furthermore, such a teleportation device certainly could be useful for so many possibilities. The only major obstacle will be to overcome the guardian of this place, described as a formidable construct made of iron and fire. Belade Burns learns about the general vicinity of where to search. Among the mountain's wilderness, she finds a cave opening leading into an interior tunnel. She can see the concentrations of broken debris. She can see the skeletal remains of the people who explored into here and perished. The interior space is heavy with the odor of old mold. Belade Burns can see some patches of the mold growing along portions of the floor, walls, and ceiling. Without approaching any closer right now, the Warlock knows that patches of mold in dark places potentially can be dangerous. As a bonus action, she casts the jump spell on herself, using her Eldritch invocation of the Otherworldly Leap to cast the spell at will. During the next 1 minute, once during each of her turns, the Warlock can use 10 feet of her movement to jump 30 feet. This extra mobility could help with bypassing some, but probably not all of the patches of the mold. The Warlock prepares to step into the tunnel, but first she uses her action to cast Crown of Stars using her 7th level Mystic Arcanum spell slot. The spell Crown of Stars is from the sourcebook of Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Belly Burns creates 7 star-like motes of radiant energy. During the next 1 hour, the Warlock can use a bonus action to hurl any one of those 7 radiant stars, making a ranged spell attack at a target within 120 feet. As the Warlock enters into the tunnel, her movement causes some of the nearby molds to react. The mold releases a cloud of poisonous spores. This mold is similar to the yellow mold listed as a hazard in the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide. This particular mold is different though. The standard version is triggered by touch. This version is triggered by any movement within 5 feet of it by a creature or object of small size or larger. Belly Burns is exposed to the cloud of poisonous spores. Each creature within an area of the poisonous spores must succeed with a Constitution saving throw, or else it will suffer 2d10 poison damage and gain the poison condition for the next 1 minute. During this time of being poisoned, the creature automatically suffers another 1d10 poison damage at the start of each of its turns. It can repeat the Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the poison condition upon a success. Belly Burns rolls the Constitution saving throw. A result of 27 succeeds. The successful saving throw will protect her from any other clouds of poisonous spores until the start of her next turn. Now the Warlock hears a noise coming from deeper into the interior space. She hears the clanging and clattering of metal. She sees the shape of a large creature made of iron and fire, just as was described by the guardian of this place. The construct moves through the mold and triggers more clouds of poisonous spores. It seems to be unbothered. Belly Burns can guess that this creature is immune to poison damage and the poison condition. The Guardian is an Iron Golem, augmented with special legendary features. It prepares for battle against the intruder. The Warlock and the Golem roll for initiative. The Warlock rolls 5, the Golem rolls 12. The Iron Golem will act first, followed by the Warlock. This particular Iron Golem is a legendary creature. The Warlock Belly Burns can sense the legendary nature of the arcane magic. She understands that the Iron Golem is equipped with 3 legendary resistances, allowing to fail a saving throw and decide to succeed instead. Additionally, it is equipped with 3 legendary actions, allowing to make a special action after another creature ends its turn. I will describe the legendary actions at the times when they will occur. In round 1, the Iron Golem moves within 90 feet of the Warlock. It does not care about the poisonous spores of the mold, given its immunity as a construct. It makes 2 fiery bolt attacks at the intruder. The attack rolls are 13 and 12. Ordinarily, the 13 would hit against the Warlock's armor class of 13, but Belly Burns uses her reaction to cast Shield with her Enspelled armor, boosting her armor class up to 18 and blocking the attack. Belly Burns can feel the intense power of the Golem's attacks, and she knows that she was lucky to avoid being hit. The Warlock Belly Burns knows that any movement through the tunnel will trigger more of the poisonous spores. Additionally, though, she recalls that this kind of mold usually can be destroyed by contact with sunlight or with any amount of fire damage. Meanwhile, the Guardian construct here is made of iron and fire, and most likely this creature is immune to fire damage. Right now, Belly Burns wants to focus on the threat of the Iron Golem. As her action, the Warlock summons a sphere of intense darkness in a 20-foot radius. She casts the spell Hunger of Hadar, using a 5th level pragmatic spell slot. The 20-foot radius sphere is difficult terrain, no light can illuminate this space, and creatures inside here are blinded. Any creature inside here suffers cold damage at the start of its turn and acid damage at the end of its turn. As a bonus action, Belly Burns can launch one of the 7 radiant motes of her Crown of Stars spell. With her Eldritch Invocation of Devil's Sight, she can see into the darkness of the Hunger of Hadar spell, while the Iron Golem is blinded, thereby gaining advantage on the attack. The advantage attack was a natural 20, scoring a critical hit. The damage dice are doubled, producing 54 points of radiant damage. The Golem sustains the blast, and it retains 198 of its total 252 hit points. These first few dice rolls have been extraordinarily lucky for the Warlock. This good fortune may or may not last. Belly Burns moves slightly and drops into the prone condition behind a pile of rubble debris. The prone condition will impose disadvantage on the Golem's attack rolls beyond 5 feet distance. The rubble debris will grant 3/4 cover, granting a +5 bonus to the Warlock's armor class, now boosted up to armor class 18. The Warlock's movement causes the nearby mold to release another cloud of poisonous spores. She rolls a Constitution saving throw. A result of 27 succeeds again. Belly Burns continues with her streak of extraordinary good luck. She avoids the effects of the poisonous spores. I should note that I am using the automatic dice roller in RPG Story's 3D World Builder and Virtual Tabletop system. Nobody can control the outcomes, but I am wondering about the Warlock's good fortunes. After the Warlock ends her turn, now the Iron Golem can use a legendary action. 2 of its 3 possible legendary actions require sight of a target or a location, but the Iron Golem currently is blinded inside the Hunger of Hadar. In this case, the only option of a legendary action is to lunge. With the lunge option, the Iron Golem moves up to half of its 30 feet speed, meaning 15 feet, without provoking opportunity attacks. Inside the difficult terrain of the Hunger of Hadar, the 15 feet of movement becomes halved again. The Golem remains inside here. In round 2, the Iron Golem starts its turn inside the area of the Hunger of Hadar. With the 5th level version of the spell, the Golem suffers 15 cold damage. The Iron Golem retains 183 of its total 252 hit points. Moving at half of its speed through the difficult terrain, the Iron Golem cannot escape from the Hunger of Hadar. The Golem uses its action to dash, essentially using its movement speed again. Moving through the difficult terrain, the Golem escapes from this dangerous space and steps closer toward the intruder. The Warlock Belay Burns uses half of her movement to stand up from the prone condition. This movement triggers more of the poisonous spores. The Warlock rolls a Constitution saving throw, a result of 22 succeeds, avoiding the effects. As her action, the Warlock uses her Eldritch Blast cantrip, launching 3 beams of force at the Golem. The first attack roll is 16, missing against the Iron Golem's armor class by 20. The second attack roll is 26, hitting the target. The blast produces 12 force damage, including the bonus of the Agonizing Blast invocation. The Repelling Blast invocation allows to push the Golem 10 feet backward, barely into the space of the Hunger of Hadar. I made an error in the dice roller here, adding plus 10 instead of plus 5 to that last damage roll. The correct amount is the 12 force damage. Now the Iron Golem is blinded again, while the Warlock makes her 3rd Eldritch Blast attack with advantage against the blinded opponent. The advantage roll is 28, hitting the Golem. The blast causes 13 force damage. The Golem is pushed back another 10 feet. The Warlock uses her bonus action to throw another radiant mote of her Crown of Stars at the Golem. Rolling with advantage against the blinded target, the attack roll is 26, hitting against the armor class of 20. The attack causes 27 radiant damage. The Iron Golem retains 131 of its total 252 hit points. At this time, Belay Burns decides to stay in her position. She does not want to move in any way that will produce more of the poisonous spores. She is standing close enough with the rubble debris to gain half cover, granting a bonus of +2 to her armor class. After the Warlock ends her turn, then the Iron Golem can use another legendary action. Once again, though, it is blinded inside the Hunger of Hadar, and it cannot use the legendary actions that would require its sight. The only option is to use the Lunge legendary action, moving up to half speed without provoking opportunity attacks. In round 3, the Iron Golem starts its turn inside the Hunger of Hadar. The spell causes 22 cold damage. The Golem retains 109 of its total 252 hit points. The Golem is blinded, but it remembers the direction of where to move toward the Warlock. It barely escapes from the Hunger of Hadar. The Golem disturbs more of the poisonous spores, yet the Golem is immune to the poison damage and the poison condition. The Iron Golem considers to release its poison breath in a 60-foot cone that could engulf the Warlock. The Golem decides against this option though because its other attacks could produce more damage against this single target. The Iron Golem makes its 2 fiery bolt attacks at the Warlock. The Warlock is behind half cover of the rubble debris, adding a bonus of +2 to her armor class. The 2 attack rolls are 21 and 20, both hitting against the Warlock's increased armor class of 15 and too high to be blocked by a shield spell. The 2 bolts in total cause 82 fire damage, reduced by half with the Warlock's resistance to fire damage as an infernal tiefling, down to 41 damage. With the 2 instances of damage, Belay Burns needs to roll 2 Constitution saving throws for maintaining concentration on the Hunger of Hadar spell. Given the amount of damage sustained, the difficulty class is 20. The 2 rolls are 26 and 9. The Warlock's good luck comes to an end. Not even her special feature of the Dark One's own luck can boost the result of 9 high enough to succeed. The Hunger of Hadar spell ends. The Warlock Belay Burns starts her turn with 67 of her total 108 hit points. She no longer is concentrating on the Hunger of Hadar spell. The Warlock uses her action with her Eldritch Blast cantrip, sending 3 beams of force toward the Iron Golem. The 3 attack rolls are 23, 29, and 17. 2 of the beams hit against the Iron Golem's armor class of 20. The 2 hits in total produce 19 force damage, and the Golem is pushed back 20 feet. As a bonus action, Belay Burns throws another radiant mote of her Crown of Stars. The attack roll is 29, hitting against the Iron Golem's armor class of 20. The attack produces 24 points of radiant damage. The Iron Golem retains only 66 of its total 252 hit points. Ballet Burns uses her movement and her active jump spell to move as far away as she can from the Iron Golem. Her movement triggers the nearby molds to erupt with a cloud of poisonous spores. The Warlock rolls a Constitution saving throw. A result of 14 ordinarily would fail, but the Warlock adds 1d10 with her Dark One's own luck feature, bringing the result up to 21 for a success. Ballet Burns avoids the effects of the poisonous spores. After the Warlock ends her turn, then the Iron Golem can use another legendary action. Now it can see the Warlock without the blinded condition of the Hunger of Hadar. One option with sight involves upcasting the spell command, but the Golem is outside the range of 60 feet for the targeting of the Warlock. The other option is to create a column of fire in a space that the Golem can see within 90 feet. The column of fire generates 13 fire damage. As an Infernal Tiefling, the Warlock's fire resistance reduces the damage down to 6. Ballet Burns retains 61 of her total 108 hit points. In round 4, the Iron Golem starts its turn with 66 of its total 252 hit points. It moves closer to the intruder while ignoring the poisonous spores with its immunity. The Iron Golem makes its 2 fiery bolt attacks. The 2 attack rolls are 22 and 24. Both of the attacks hit against the Warlock's armor class of 13, and they are too high to be blocked by a shield spell. In total, the 2 attacks cause 71 fire damage, reduced by half with the Warlock's fire resistance down to 35 damage. The Warlock, Ballet Burns, starts her turn with only 26 of her total 108 hit points. She recognizes that she will need to end this battle as soon as possible. In this case, Ballet Burns begins with using her bonus action not to throw another mote of her Crown of Stars, but rather to cast Misty Step without using a spell slot, instead using her Fey-touched feat. She teleports 30 feet closer to the Iron Golem. Now with her movement and the extra mobility of the active jump spell, the Warlock moves into melee contact with the Iron Golem. She can make 3 attacks with her Pact Weapon Longsword using her Charisma for the attack and damage modifiers thanks to her Eldritch Invocation of the Pact of the Blade, along with the Thirsting Blade and the Devouring Blade. Using the magical Dragon's Wrath Longsword, the first attack roll is 22, hitting against the Iron Golem's armor class of 20. As a 2-handed attack with the Longsword, the hit produces 17 slashing damage. The Iron Golem is immune to the extra 2d6 fire damage of the Dragon's Wrath Longsword. As part of the successful hit, Ballet Burns applies her Eldritch Smite, expending a 5th level Pact Magic spell slot. The Eldritch Smite generates 33 force damage. Additionally, the Iron Golem is knocked prone. The Iron Golem retains only 16 of his total 252 hit points. Against the prone target, Ballet Burns makes her final 2 attacks with advantage. The advantage attack rolls are 31 and 22, both hitting against the armor class of 20. In total, the 2 hits cause 19 points of slashing damage. The Iron Golem falls with 0 hit points. It has been defeated. The Warlock Ballet Burns has won this battle. During the next hours, Ballet Burns uses her Firebolt cantrip to eliminate the mold in here, and she uses her Eldritch Blast with the Repelling Blast to move the rubble debris into a new barrier at the entrance area as a precaution for now. Additionally, during this time, the Warlock studies the arcane equipment in this place, and she makes the necessary repairs. Ballet Burns understands that the equipment here relates to a teleportation device. The technology is complicated. The Warlock rolls an investigation skill check. The result is 15, and Ballet Burns adds 1d10 with her Dark One's own luck feature, bringing the total up to 18. With this result, Ballet Burns learns how to operate the equipment. The teleportation device is powered with 1 charge. After the single use, the device regenerates its 1 charge, ready to use again after 24 hours. The Warlock can use the equipment here to scan through a map of the world and to identify a destination for the teleportation. At this point, the device would need 1 minute to build enough power for the teleportation of any numbers of creatures standing within the teleportation circle. Additionally, each use of this equipment creates a tiny-sized disc equipped with 1 charge that essentially can cast the spell Teleportation Circle again, linked back only to this origin point. This special object is destroyed after use or after 24 hours. While studying the equipment here, Ballet Burns learns about another device that is intended to repair and restore the Iron Golem. The process will need 24 hours, and then the Warlock can create her own set of instructions for the Golem. Oddly, 2 such restorative devices are here, but only 1 Iron Golem is here at this time. The Warlock Ballet Burns decides to rest in this place overnight in order to recover her full powers and to prepare for the upcoming attack of the Spellsword Academy. Given the barricade around the entrance area, the Warlock feels reasonably confident about her safety here. Ballet Burns contemplates about how she will proceed tomorrow with the formal attack at the Spellsword Academy. Our story will continue with Nemesis Battles. For now, in the comment section, please share your ideas and suggestions about what could have happened differently and what could happen during other episodes. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.